we might want to get into our next match.
Let's get another one queued up, shall we? Looks like we're going to be having Chucky versus Gameplay's own SSGuy. SSGuy, our resident Mega Man main, he plays definitely more akin to the turtle style of Mega Man. A big contrast, I'd say, from a Mega Man like Scat, who is a little bit more aggressive overall with this Mega Man. A bit more in your face, but still really good at pestering. Whereas SSGuy, he's still kind of trying to figure out that side of his game. Because whenever it comes down to actually racking up percents and playing from afar, he's really, really good. And even when it comes to getting out of the corner from time to time, like, this dude has some really great decision-making. But sometimes the pressure might get a little bit too much to him, and when it comes to actually turning the tides and being a bit aggressive, it's where he starts to struggle. So far, Chucky off to a pretty decent start, but I don't know how I felt about using that PK Thunder the way that he did. It must have been some kind of an error.
I believe that maybe he was going to look for the PK Thunder 2 into SSGuy, but then he said, I'm not going to do it, but didn't really know how to quickly get out of it. So maybe he just went, I'm going to go over here, maybe eat whatever digs I get.
Yeah, it was probably like the lesser of two evils, more likely.
Yeah. So one thing I'm going to be interested to see from Chucky, I wonder how much Mega Man versus Ness he's watched. We get quite a bit of it here, actually, with SSGuy versus people like Jutsu and Chucky. And there it is. Yeah, I was just about to comment on that, is how often he's going to try to absorb those lemons that SSGuy loves to throw out.
Now, the thing about the absorbing some of SSGuy's options is that SSGuy is really good at mixing up what kind of projectiles he uses. So maybe Chucky can absorb one sort of projectile, but if he's not careful, then see the option like the saw will come out. But we've noticed the adaptation from Chucky already. He's really quick with the shield. He's able to go ahead and kind of break some of SSGuy's mix-ups while simultaneously recovering some of that precious HP.
Yeah, and definitely interested to look to see maybe if SSGuy is going to punish Chucky somehow for throwing out that the down B at close range, which he is often has a tendency to do. Maybe SSGuy can get in there, get a good punish, like I don't know, maybe a down smash or even a forward air.
Oh, Chucky in a really precarious position here. And wow, we've seen it happen actually at the beginning of the match, right? He doesn't necessarily have the best control of his character when it comes to initiating and executing that PK Thunder 2. And because of that, he was way down. He couldn't find the right arc to connect with the body whenever it came to actually landing that PK Thunder. And he's going to pay for it with the price of his stock.
Yeah, and I was hoping maybe because we saw SSGuy up B first, if Chucky hadn't committed to up being first, he may have been able to use the Rush Coil to boost his recovery a little bit and maybe see where he's guiding the PK Thunder.
This guy's still retaining this stock. Very high percentage here. I'm not going to be surprised if we see SSGuy maybe stop with some of the lemons in the next 30% or so and start coming in with some of those back airs. He loves using that option. It's such a quick move, and it's a pretty deceptively strong move as well.
Yeah, and especially at a percent like this, where if he gets Chucky up just a little bit more, that backer's going to start to kill because of how much rage, in fact, maximum rage, that SSGuy has.
I absolutely love that setup that we saw from SSGuy. The reverse saw into the grab, absolutely beautiful. And you can see he's really cognizant still when it comes to actually ending some of those stocks. He was going for a lot of trumps. They didn't quite pay off in his favor, but overall, SSGuy has done an excellent job. He's gone above and beyond when it comes to putting on that extra credit for this final stock.
Yeah, we definitely see SSGuy's survivability almost all the time, and that goes hand in hand with that more turtling gameplay that we know him for. And, you know, obviously getting up to 106% is no easy feat. And as you said, there it is, taking the stock with the back air to seal game one.
And slow and steady wins the race there. You know, SSGuy, he's in no hurry. You didn't really see him whiff too many bears. You didn't see him really whiff too many KO options overall. He waited very patiently, put on the percentage from afar, and when it counted, he stuck the option that mattered.
Yeah. And of course, he's, like you said, he's very good at mixing up those mid-range projectile options, trying to keep him guessing between that Saw Blade, the Crash Bomber, and the Lemons. And what I'm hoping to see this time with Chucky is maybe not throw out after SSGuy has been using the Lemons a lot. I'm hoping to see Chucky throw out that Absorb a little less, because with any other character, you just kind of deal with those Lemons a little bit and you just maneuver around them. And if he's throwing out that down B, he can be punished pretty hard for it. He can either get stuck, he can get a Saw Blade, and sometimes it's just not worth the risk to throw it out.
You got to always weigh that risk and reward. Game number 2 is underway. Chucky has to go ahead and win this game if he wants to stay in this series. SSGuy one game away from going ahead and advancing in this loser's bracket.
Yeah, so Town and City for this one. I like this pick as Ness is a very good off-the-top killer. SSGuy does frequently use back air to kill off the sides. And even though Mega Man does have a few good KO options off the top, I think the stage definitely benefits Ness a little more than most of the others.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, I can definitely see your logic. The one thing to consider is SSGuy, even though we've seen him go for a lot of back airs, he does have that option with that up tilt as well. Again, SSGuy, he's not necessarily the most aggressive player, but because he's really good at choosing when to execute, he's excellent at landing the option. So you won't expect him to really use it too often, but when he does use it, you have to be scared.
Yeah, and of course, Chucky getting a little bit of options. We see him landing a lot of PK fires in this game, and a lot of people here know him as the PK fire technician almost. Finding a lot of ways to land them. It's really not the easiest in a tournament setting to land those PK fires with Ness.
And it's really good, too, because it's kind of making SSGuy think a bit whenever he's trying to launch some of those projectiles. I mean, do I need to expect this PK fire? When am I actually safe when it comes to throwing out some of the projectiles? And those little moments, it might be just enough for Chucky to really snap back into this series. He already has a pretty solid lead, and Ness definitely, I think, excels when it comes to the realm of actually getting those KOs. So right now, Chucky's in an excellent position. He's using that PK fire so well there. You mentioned it before, Elkopod. He's doing a great job of pestering SSGuy anytime he's choosing to recover. So SSGuy might need to go ahead and mix up the timing on whenever he's choosing to use that rush recovery, because he's been getting clipped by that PK fire very consistently.
And SSGuy is maybe forcing him a little bit into using that PK fire because he's throwing out a lot of projectiles here, as you see when he recovers, to maybe keep Chucky from throwing out the PK thunders and trying to edge guard him. Great back throw from Chucky. Obviously, we expect that from Ness.
You know, one thing that I said very early on was SSGuy is really good at choosing when to use those decisive KO options. But that time, I think because he was playing from pretty far behind, he was a little over-eager. And Chucky, with some great patience, was able to go and punish that early up tilt. But there it is, that up tilt. And look at the setup from that. Again, those saw blades, I think, have confirmed for 2 kills in this set. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic play from SSGuy.
Yeah, SSGuy did a great job of bringing that back there, not taking a hit before taking out Chucky's stock. And I'm glad that that we finally saw him punish Chucky a little bit for throwing out that down B when maybe necessarily he didn't need to. Chucky's been throwing out that down B at what would almost be considered long range, which at long range, SSGuy really has no use for the lemons because they don't have that much reach. If he throws them out, Chucky's going to absorb them, and so he might as well throw out a Crash Bomber or a Saw Blade.
You know, call me crazy, but I think that the way that Chucky might need to play this is play it really close to face. One thing that we've noticed from SSGuy is that he's been making a lot of work out of those projectiles, in particular that Saw. Even there, Chucky goes for the back air. There's a little bit of delay because it connects with the Saw Blade, and SSGuy is able to sneak around and land a back air of his own. It's just really, really good play. So maybe if he plays really close to face, SSGuy will feel a bit more uncomfortable when it comes to even throwing out that option, and that might limit one of SSGuy's best tools so far in this series.
Good job of using the PK Thunder there by Chucky, by the way. He did a very good job of spacing it out. When he realized he missed, he just got himself away from the situation so he couldn't be punished. And I saw SSGuy a little bit earlier on in the stock using the lemons a lot.
Ooh, wow, the plays. That was such a smart spot dodge option there. Chucky, we saw him go for the PK fire time and time again. SSGuy, he knew that the aggression was coming, be it the form of a grab or be it the form of a PK fire. And the spot dodge was just the perfect choice to really cover both of those particular options. And then the punishment afterwards, oh man. Oh, just excellent play overall from both folks. But got to give props to Chucky as well. He had some great moments, the PK fire in particular, you know, and just couldn't quite really see it all come to fruition at the end.
Yeah. It's a really good job, actually, with the PK Fire because it's a great way to mix up the edge guards, especially against a character that's a little harder to ledge snap with, like Mega Man.